Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today, there is no specific topic about what we can talk about. So instead, I'll just improvise on a little bit. Also, why is Roblox promoting their crappy ass advertisements? Like, get off my screen, bro. Anyway, let's play the game. You know, the way I typically play the game is I don't really pick maps. I just play everything in a row. It's an odd habit to have. It's like not very specific on how to play the game. Okay, hold on, let me turn down the sound. It's gonna get loud. Anyways. I used to not go for rescue missions because, I don't know, some maps just have really difficult rescue missions and they're a pain to collect. Okay, you know what, I'll turn off the sound entirely so that my speech isn't observed. Isn't obstructed, I mean. I love using words in a nonsensical way. Wait, what? Why can't I still hear the volume? I turned off the volume, bro. What? I can still hear it. What? It's at 0. Come on. Oh, fine. Whatever. Guess we live with it. Anyway, first map done. I like these maps, having all rescues and lost pages stick in one place. It's a lot better than having them scattered all over the place with variants, like in certain maps, and especially in CM Permanents. It gets quite frustrating. Rescue. Yeah, the rescue path is not an easy map thing at all. Anyway. Yeah, it's kind of hard to know what to talk about when you don't have a plan or a script written for a video. It's really difficult. Oh yeah, I would like to talk about that tournament in FE2 CM. My friends are organizing. The tournament has officially begun yesterday with the opening match between my friend Speeder and Mushy. It was a damn good match. And the one who came out on top was Mushy this time around. And today, the day 2 started, which included everyone else's match, because Mushy vs. Peter was the opening match. So I played my first match versus a player known as Soleil from Australia. You know, me being a Lithuanian is really a big disadvantage to the other dude. Like, he had to play with 300 ping while I played with 40 ping. That is hilariously stupid. And the maps in the tournament do feature exploding buttons. So, yeah, you gotta be really careful about your ping. I was kind of stressing out on the Crazy Plus maps because I didn't practice enough. By far not enough. And so happens to be that my following opponent is Mushy. And apparently he over-practiced for his previous match, meaning he's got way more practice than I did. I just decided I would challenge him right from the get-go, but unfortunately he refused. So then I decided to challenge my other opponent, Fierce, or as we call him, Fizz. He is quite known in the TrioS server for being an absolute buffoon, but it's alright. He also refused to play his match against me. I don't know why. I mean, I guess they're not in a rush considering that deadline is July 2nd, but man, I just want to do my matches. I don't want to wait forever. Anyways, there were more matches that were interesting to watch. Some ended in an underwhelming performance, unfortunately. Also, this highlights another issue with FE2 CM overall. Ever since whitelisting went down, FE2 CM didn't receive any real updates. Meaning it's still been stuck on version 64. As you can see, main game version is already version 65 since January. Meaning that game has not received an update for half a year, minimum, if not longer. So it's all buggy, laggy, and messed up. We had lag spikes that literally ended people's runs on a tourney round. We had to do redos like 3 times in a single 1v1. That was stupid. Like, Crazy Blocks, please. Please. Just fix it already. Anyways. I mean, I guess I couldn't shit on Crazy Blocks for too much. Considering he's an adult and has other problems to deal with, most likely. But still, considering the game does pay his bills, he should take this game's development a little more seriously. At least that's what I think. I mean, I guess he didn't ask for this success. But since he's got it, I don't think he wants to lose it, does he? Another thing I want to touch upon is, well, the community server. The community server is always unaware of such things, like people wanting to compete for something, or a reward or something that they could grind for. I mean, the flood pass exists, sure, but apart from that, grinding the game is literally quite pointless. Levels get cheated by hackers. And in the tournament server, there is one person who literally just hacked for Rebirth 30 out of spite for the game, and how poorly moderated it is. And I gotta say, I can't even judge him for that. He's actually right. He is right. The moderation for cheaters and exploiters is definitely very poor. And it has gotten even more poor ever since the leaderboard got removed, because they no longer had to deal with these edge cases for like 2 years. Now all of a sudden, they are coming back with a completely different issue. But I guess in their eyes, they are not really harming anyone else. Right? Well, anyways. Since they're not supposedly harming anyone by cheating their rebirths, that means they don't have to be moderated. Right? Wrong. I still want to moderate normal exposures with the snapshot system and all, but it just doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't work. Also, that fumble was stupid of me. Damn it. Well, I'm dead. I'll boost this once just to play an insane map. Anyway. So Ferg, that's gotta be the hands down the worst highlight I've ever seen. The most boring gameplay and the laziest design ever. Also, it has roof objects that literally get in the way. It's annoying. Also, it has no rescue mission, meaning you get less experience beating it. There's no point to play it. Same thing with Pitfall Temple. I don't know, I just personally don't really enjoy that map. It could be better. The first half gameplay is like solid, actually difficult. But the ending with the boulder running, that part is so lame. You expect a map with such a section at the very end to actually be like exciting, dangerous, or scary in some cases. And you just got basic 5 jumps over not even lava, just nothing. You just run. That's it. And the jumps are like this jump here, from to the box to platform to platform, like stuff like this. And those jumps aren't even long. They're short jumps. It's very basic. It's literally the most free map ever. I guess it's rated 5.3 or something just because of that ending. When the gameplay from the start is pacing of a 5.9 minimum. Well, I won't dwell too much on these ratings and all because they might be inaccurate. Really. Yeah. This map is made by one of the developers, Kozak. It's also, I think, his first permanent map in the game. Or second, I don't remember. Might be the first one. Got added along with Ignis Peaks and Sands of Ruins. Sands of Ruins was made by Fenneker, or otherwise known as Shorthorn Zack. And Ignis Peaks is made by Numelec, the goat of map making. Well, the goat not in best gameplay design, but in the amount of maps he's made. Well, I can't dwell on it too much because I don't really care about map making. Or map makers themselves, for that matter. Hell, I don't even think that their maps are like anything special. Damn it. Trench Sonar Station. This map is... like, let's play it, but... Look, this map looks... This map looks amazing, but...
Warning. High energy detonation detected.
This gameplay by no means is like interesting. It's just basic jumps. Well, it is a hard map, so yes, that's not fun. This is pretty creative.
Attention.
I wish I could hear the sound, but I can't, and it's annoying me.
Please report status immediately.
Apparently it's broken for some reason, so you have to deal with this. This part. I think it should kill you, but I saw some other guy in the public server who just stood there, ate that shit, and it didn't kill him. So I don't know, maybe that's also broken. Or he was lagging so bad that it didn't kill him. Anyways. This map isn't bad. It's probably one of the better ones of this highlight set. But it's been 5 months now, so like... highlights. That's long. The rescue. And here's the end of the map. Let's play through this map too, because why not? So I can showcase the problems with it that I don't like. For starters, this map doesn't have Rising Flood. Well, it kind of does and kind of doesn't. The flood will rise, but it will never reach your feet. The detail is alright, I suppose. This texture is ugly. Don't blame me. I just really don't like it. Roblox could use some good new textures. Really. What I called a roof. Like, I play like this. I have to turn like this just so I could see. That is terrible. Like here again. This random fence makes like no sense at all. Was there a random fence underwater? Tell me. A mushroom. How do mushrooms grow underwater? I would like to know. A road sign. Where the heck are we? Are we in an ocean or are we like in a sewer? I have no idea where we are. A mirror. Why is there a magical mirror? Do tell me. And we end up at the start of Sulphurous Sea. Granted, this map actually does make a little more sense in the design itself. But it's pretty average. Found a facility that supposedly easiest insane map in the game. Well, the easiest if you know how to swim, that is. If you don't, you're fucking cooked. Anyways. I guess I can talk about some of my leaderboard experiences. Because why not? Back when... Like, okay, this will be like a continuation to update log video from a couple of days ago. But like, I forgot completely to mention the leaderboard. It's addition and removal. Like, completely, I forgot to mention that. I mean, the video turned out 2 hours long anyway, so like, probably a better thing I left it untouched for a while. But I do believe I should mention it. So basically, I did mention in that video that leaderboard trophies were added in March 2018, right? First winners were March 2018 ones that received it. Well, I kind of lied there. The trophies were actually added alongside the Benevolence update, I'm pretty sure. And they were put on sale for 1 coin by accident. That was quickly reverted, however. The leaderboard had existed since, well, pretty much the game's inception. It was never mentioned because it wasn't a rocket scientific feature. But it was the feature that kept me playing for years and years, despite the game being like, in 2020 for example, having received 1 update in 11 months. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, the 3 months prior to that, well, the last actual update type thing, not including Halloween and winter events, was probably Chaos servers? It wasn't like July or August, if I recall correctly. I think it was August. I don't remember exactly. That shortcut got patched. Well, regardless. Where was I? Well, anyway, game had like no updates at all for pretty much a year. With the Nothing Burger event. I mean update, not event. God, I'm mixing words now. Anyways. Also, More Dreams and Fallen Classic coming out in that same year, right after the drought of nothingness. I mean, More Dreams, woohoo, new map, great, that was actually good. Fallen, on the other hand, was made within like 6 hours. Sure, it had a unique concept, like black and white theme and fading platforms. But the gameplay was so basic and boring that the whole concept was thrown into the trash and called the worst map ever made. And I'm pretty sure that standard still stands till today. Because the only maps worse than Fallen Classic are stuff like Beanos or Rigor from 2022, before they received detail updates that actually added them to these stupid layout maps. It's kind of what it is. Fallen Classic might as well just be a layout map. And hence why Crazy Blocks made another one. Albeit, I would have called it differently than Fallen again. Or if I were to add back the classic one, I would have at least renamed one of them to be something different. It would at least make more sense. Anyways, back on the leaderboard topic. I know most people really don't like the leaderboard, especially when I talk about it much. I think I pissed off the entire Crazy Blocks Games community server with my leaderboard talk. And frankly, well, I understand where they're coming from. They don't care. The reason they don't care is because they never participated in it. They weren't part of the community side that did participate. They never experienced the drama, the accusations, the exploits, and other stuff. It was a whole different era. And frankly, it's the era that, well, brought the most interest for me in the game. Not because of its competitive aspects, but because of the people I met through it. There's a server called I Despair. They recently added a tree map to the verified servers of the game. A normal difficulty called Echoes of Despair. The map is dedicated towards this community server. Well, it's more like a friend server rather than a community one, because it's just friends who met each other from the game, invited people, and then somewhat became a small community of people. It's not as civil as most community servers are. It doesn't really enforce its rules too harshly. I am a moderator in it. Been one for like several years at this point. And I think things are pretty damn cool there. Personally, the whole process of like keeping that server running normally is to just talk to people like they are people instead of talking to them like they are tools they can be thrown out and sure, we may disagree and like complain to each other, argue, beef with each other. Hell, even say racial slurs from time to time. But that's all part of being a human being, you know. It's probably undefendable. Things like that just exist in real life too, like when you talk to your closest buddy, friend, and whatever, you talk literally about anything. From politics, religion, to literally the most important topics ever. Hell, even something stupid you saw on the internet or Twitter is enough to catch your attention worth talking about. It's the same thing. When I see some stupid shit on Facebook, for example, I saw these advertisements advertising AI generated, you know what, content. And I was cringing at the thought of seeing it. And the dumbest thing is, I don't know. It's not like people engage with this kind of stuff every day. It's just the one time they see it, they talk about it, and they forget about it. A couple of years later, might remember about it, or like look back at these messages they sent years ago, have a good laugh about it, or remember how cringe they were at some point in the past. Point is, being really gentle to people about every little thing they say, it can lead to bad consequences. I would talk about a debate I had with my friend Mushy the other day, but I think I'll leave that for another time. Back to the leaderboard thing. Basically, because this server was like a friend server for, well, most of us who played FE2 for the leaderboard, it kind of became known for being the leaderboard community. Outsiders, of course, probably didn't know about it at all. Who knew? Such communities are obscure and they specialize in niche aspects of a game, so they're harder to discover. And they're not advertised like a proper community server either. You have to meet a guy to know a guy for a guy to let you in, basically, that type of thing. You need to know someone, so someone lets you in. And the only way for that to happen is to either, one, talk to said person and catch their eye, or two, just have something substantial achieved in the game and be recognized without needing to talk. Then you can just have the offer to either come or ignore. Most people, of course, chose to come because, well, why not? You get to talk to more people similar to you who are playing the game the same way. So, what could the harm be? Yeah, the harm came after, like, if you were suspected of playing way too well, and you had never been on the leaderboard before, you would probably get accused of cheating. Albeit that case was like very inconsistent to determine anything at all. Most of the time it was just accusations without proof or evidence. So it was basically word of mouth at that point. If someone you knew, like close to you, said behind your back that you were cheating, then their word of mouth would be taken as fact because, well, they know you, they are close to you, so that means they probably know more about you than they do about the person who snitched on you. Well, that's kind of how it was. The very same system that created the community is kind of the same system that tore it apart in some parts. That wasn't terrible. I Despair itself as a server is chill. You can play games any kind. They won't really judge you for it. They don't really bully anyone either. Like, things have way more calmed down nowadays than they did like 5 years ago. 5 years ago you were never safe. It was a land filled with war. Like, anything could happen there 5 years ago, but nowadays we're just civil people. We've all grown up, we are all adults almost. Well, majority was anyway. And that's a good thing. However, when I Despair was in the process of becoming this, a respectful community, another sub-community popped up for leaderboard grinders, where they could be the exact opposite of civil. It was all insults, witch hunting, toxicity, no doxing, but there were people leaking someone's face and such, and you know, the immature stuff that your friends would do if you know them in real life, for example. Like, they would do it for shits and giggles, without you knowing. And that's basically that. I literally had such classmates in my life, so ask me how I know. They will do anything for shits and giggles and laughter. And they don't even know what they're doing is wrong, by any means. But once they grow up, they'll realize they're stupid and annoying, so that's all good. They eventually understand. Give them time. And this sub-community was, in fact, so bad that it was the primary reason the leaderboard even got removed in the first place. Although it got removed after things had gotten better with the leaderboard, because that sub-community died a year prior to the leaderboard's removal. Leaderboard got removed in January 2024, specifically on the very first day of the new year. I mean, as much as the community was toxic and disrespectful to each other, at the end of the day, we all came back to the very same game. We stood in the same lobby, celebrated the podium reset just like everyone else. Sure, we may not have liked each other much, but we were still supportive of their achievements and such. People still came to see what had happened. It was the most community-like thing to ever happen in this game. Like, only the sub-community actually had community-themed events and such. Like rebirth parties, rebirth reset celebrations. Or just straight up tournaments, other stuff. Tell me one thing in the comments if you watched this far into the video. What things did the Crazy Blocks Games community server do that the sub-communities didn't inside of the game? I don't mean like Jeopardy games and Discord, or talking about map making competitions like map jams, etc, etc. I'm talking strictly about main FE2 and what kind of community themed related or whatever things did they do on a semi-regular basis, like once or twice a month, for example. Oh yeah, right. I was part of that same community that did not do shit like that at all. Yeah, no wonder I didn't fit in. It's because they don't give a shit about anything at all. They're just trolls. Some people genuinely took the fun in ruining someone's life. Or ruining the fun of the game for others. Like, the mindless hate towards shortcutters is beyond me. Why do we hate shortcutters? They literally help you find shortcuts in maps. They even explain how to do them, pull them off. Like, so long as you're nice to them, they'll help you even. Well, sure, they might want to gatekeep something for themselves to have fun for a while. But like, you can't really blame them, you know. They'll likely tell you about the most overpowered glitches and such, if you let them actually exist in the game. Because trust me, even if you kick one of them out, another one is just gonna replace them. And just because you kicked out a bad replacement, that doesn't mean the new replacement will be any better. You know? Why wouldn't you gatekeep something when you're literally told to fuck off when you try to help someone? Right? I've tried helping the game developers too, in my own way. I tried giving them feedback, game suggestions, balance changes, etc, etc, etc. I even recently released a document about the exploiters. And guess what? They never even saw it or read it. I sent it both on Blue Sky and X, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And they didn't read it either. No responses either. I tagged them as well, like, yeah. Well, ever since I got banned from the CBG server, basically, I couldn't DM Crazy Blocks anymore, and I also couldn't DM Coolzak anymore either. Meaning, I couldn't get in direct contact with them. I tried using people who are connected to them, but they ignored even their messages. Like, why? That's straight disrespectful, bro. Anyways, this isn't a rant video, but all of that nonsense, it's like, I don't know, I'm just yapping about random stuff at this point. You know, most fair thing to assume is probably that this game is beyond saving. It is savable, but not with current management of the game. Like, I don't know how true it is, but I have a feeling that Kozak and Short Round Zach would be better off moving forward with the game's updates if they didn't have to deal with crazy blocks. Because knowing crazy blocks from his past development, like stages, etc., etc., there happens to be something like this. Let's take 2019 and 2020 for example. In 2019 you got a few handful updates like crazy maps, chaos servers, group buttons, etc, etc. And for majority of 2020 you got a Boombox Game Pass, annoying shadow map, and like a handful of changes that literally don't do shit. Well, sure, at the end of the year he did redeem himself a little bit by adding map loading, but people still hate the intensity system, so yeah, that's not the greatest update, you know. The point isn't in the updates being good or bad, it's how infrequent they are. In 2019 you got an update of about every 2 to 3 months at least, even if it was nothing big. In 2020 you got one update in 11 months, and then a short spam of random crappy updates at the end of the year. Sure, 2021 later redeemed itself by having a lot of updates, a lot of changes and other stuff, a lot of useful content. And in 2022, another no update spree hit, with the first 4 months of the year having no updates at all. And update releasing on the April Fool's Day, which was the Fallen remake, which was literally just a map and 4 items, like what? Yeah, the menu was updated too, like, well, you get my point. It was nothing special, you know. It was just to make up for the time with no changes and whatnot, kind of thing. Wasn't really an actual update. Oh cool, we got jazz playing, great. Well anyways, moving to 2023, we got... oh god, we got a lot of changes in 2023. Which is probably the best year for FE2 overall. But then came 2024 with that drought that it brought upon us. And came 2025, which was nothing special either, mostly just highlight spam. And 2026, so far we have only received one update in the entire year. I'm not counting the temporary base plate map they added for April Fools as an update. Or the highlights as the update. Just so you know. So basically, it's been roughly 5 months without an update now. Not saying that is like anything surprising at this point. Given how this is the first occurrence, this is just nothing special anymore. Oh. The community has so much potential to make this game a lot better, but it's never provided a chance to do so. It just never is. Just look at how beautiful this map was. How peak it is in design. And it's only been made possible because of all of this. All of these people here. This is what the community can make together. What can Crazy Blocks make alone? Fallen Classic. Yeah. That's what you expect for crazy blocks. Anyways, I don't mean to sound mean to the developers or crazy blocks himself, but like, it pays your bills, man. You gotta try harder, bro. Like, come on. You're lucky enough that you don't need to work 9 to 5 as is. Make use of that. Grow the game. Get it more popular, well known. And they'll give you a long, like, you'll be free from 9 to 5 jobs until the end of your life. You can even retire after that with no worries in your mind. Like, come on, lock in now and you'll not regret it for the future. Trust me. Just do it. Do it while the game still lives. It won't live forever, that's given, but like, the more effort you put into it, the higher the odds are it'll survive long enough for you actually to be happy and retire with a good amount of money to the point where you can live a happy life. All I have to do is like sit down like once or twice a week and do some coding or building or thumbnails and such. Hell, I think you would still do a better job than whatever Roblox is doing. And they have a budget of billions in their hands. Come on. You can make amazing things. Look at this. This is what you've made. Take inspiration from the fucking community, bro. I know you can do a lot better. I know you can do a lot. Like, there's plenty of things you can do. Like, add a special discounts page where you can sell certain items from, I don't know, those gems or coins or whatnot. You could sell this stuff on a discount. People who open the shop, for example, by accident, they see this item is on sale, and if they like it, they might just buy it. You know, would provide use for this stupid wealth I have. Oh, not the point that I already have everything in the game, because I grinded for it. But that's besides the point. Anyways, Plot Pass, for example. Why do you only get 5th stage as free? Like, you have 70 tiers, and out of them you get only a free item at tier 5, tier 10, tier 15, 20, 25, and so on. Only every 5 tiers. Out of 70 possible rewards, you get, let's say, roughly 14 prizes. Compared to all 70 you get if you buy the premium pass. I understand wanting the money for this, but like, really? You think people care enough about shop items to the point they will buy a game pass just to own more items? Really? Speaking of which, this item has no shirt on, by the way. It got moderated, apparently. I tried to report this to Coolzak, but I can't talk to him anymore, so I doubt that's getting fixed. I might make a separate video about bug reports I find. Probably should. Anyway. There's so many things you can do in this game that were never done before. I mean, take a look at stats, for example. I know this is getting updated. See, there's one problem I have with this, and that is how smushed together this stuff is. The survival ratio is just trash. Personally, I I'd rather not have this at all than have it and it be showing me the incorrect survival percentage of what I actually did. Why? Why do we have this fake ass ratio, bro? Why? It's not even remotely close to 100%. I have died 200 something times. It should be 94% at most. But it's sitting at 100. I don't know, man. Badges. There should be more badges. Misc badges. Miscellaneous. Like dying 1,000 times, for example, or streaking, or rebirthing, for example. Alright, pressing buttons, surviving maps. No, there could be more cool badges you can do. Or combinations like this one. I mean, you understand the point of this all, you know? It'd give older players a lot more stuff to do. And newer players something to look forward to when they're good enough at the game. There's a lot of games that thrive because they have badges that are actually difficult to get. And they can't be gotten with just one day of playtime. They're actually difficult for skill, not persistence. Now, logging over for 31 days. Really? I don't think this shit even needed a badge. Like, why? Ain't no one gonna care about getting this badge. They wanna play the game because the game is good. I don't wanna keep logging on the game just for a badge, bro. This is an example of a boring badge. Something you don't wanna do. Beating every map, for example, like... Do I really need a badge for beating Axiom? Really? I guess I understand the highlights, but... Really? Add more badges like this one, or this, or this. Just please. Make it more interesting. Speaking of which, I wonder what's gonna happen to these badges now that the leaderboard is removed. Mind you, I never actually loaded my own map in for the first time. I got this badge before they changed it to loading your own map first time. Well, I did load a map that awarded the badge. I did not, however, load in my own map, if you know what I mean. Because at first Crazy Blue decided, let's make this badge obtainable by everyone. And then he changed his mind, after I had obtained it already, to remove that. And so now, you're forced to load in your map to get it. Stupid, I know. In fact, why does an FE2 CM badge even apply in the main game? Why? This is not an integrated part of the game. There is no portal to it even. There is only this. A fucking poster. The games are not even connected. Connect the games. Connect them somehow. Hell, FE2CM has a lot more potential for varying game updates and such. Yet it's so neglected. Like, come on. There's so many things you can do in it. You can make map leaderboards, like... highlight the maps inside of FE2CM so that people can go through a small list of maps and pick something to play there. Like, the daily recommendation of a map they could play. To further entice people to make their own maps. So they would get featured at some point. You know? Like, actually do a service of increasing the game's popularity and rewarding the people who work for the game. Right, most map makers for the game are literally working for free. A lot of people want to help their favorite game for utterly no payment whatsoever. So why the hell is money and all one thing you care about? I mean, I understand that you're paying people for the content they made. Yes, that is absolutely fair and should be enforced. But you first of all need to actually make the game interesting enough for people to actually pay more money inside the game. Like, add features that would make the game a lot more interesting, or a game pass that, like, gives you, you know, more customization and such. Flood Colors Game Pass, for example, has that kind of mindset, but execution is beyond poor that nobody even remembers the Game Pass exists. Hell, I myself forgot that it exists simply because it's shoved in a corner of the menu. Why the hell do you shove the shit in a fucking menu? Like, why? Add a button somewhere in the corner where I can just select the flood colors or some shit. Or hell, if I have pre-selected colors, just save it. Save that data, man. So I can actually use them instead of forgetting to turn them on at all. Another thing I don't like is the reporting system. It simply doesn't work without being in the Discord server. As you know, I've been banned from it. That means I can't report exploiters. Can't contact the developers. Hell, I can't even play community-made maps because guess what? The forum is locked to that server. And I'm not looking on YouTube for maps to play, bro. That's too tedious and really annoying. Also, it's not like they make videos for every map in the game anyway. For example, if a map is brand new and it's not even verified by someone, there will not even be a video of its completion yet. The go-to place for finding brand new maps is the forum. Like, you find maps straight out of the bakery. Fresh new content that you have never seen before. Laying on your plate for you to consume. But no, once you're banned from that server, you're stuck playing maps that are either from several years ago, or maps that are just more popular than others. You get less options, less choice. Heck. I froze already, it's for the amount of talking I did. Maybe I should have saved all of this stuff for a rant video. Again, what's the difference between me doing a separate video and doing it in this one? Like, if you enjoy the same have, then this video is for you, I guess. If not, well, that title can always be adjusted, you know. Anyways, so like, most of this stuff is pretty annoying. Honestly, I'm not that dissatisfied with this game, you know. I actually still enjoy playing it. It's just that lack of fulfillment is the reason I kind of stay away from playing it more than I want to. I'd love to play this game a lot more, but I can't. I simply can't. I can't grind levels anymore. I can't grind currency anymore because it's all capped at something. I can't max level's already been reached by me and multiple other exploiters. I'm the only legit one, by the way. Anyways, currency cap, like, I understand it was added back in 2021 or 2020, I don't remember exactly which year. But the purpose of it was to limit people from being too rich. Guess what? Everyone's broke! Everyone is fucking broke. Except for, like, people like me who had all maps access and times to boosting Game Pass to prevent me from going broke. Like, genuinely. Most players are broke. The only ones who aren't are the ones who have these Game Passes. But only if when they don't spend those coins and gems on the shop. Which is another problem. They can't spend it on shop because the items there are ugly as shit. Hence why I don't use them anymore, because they're just unusable. Most of the bigger, like, sized items, like the time gears, for example. I mean, yeah, for its day it was a decent tag, but like nowadays it just obscures your view of your character. I can already see people using like those women body type characters with blocky legs, simply to see their full leg hitbox. You know, this is why tanks are failing. Like, understand, tanks like Flood Sword are very good because they just exist on your back, they don't obscure your view, and they actually look very cool. Trophy tanks as well. But tanks like a stupid ice cream cone? A snow globe? A motherfucking dinosaur? Nah, bro. Like, at this point you're just adding random nonsense that doesn't look good. I mean, it's funny as a joke to add them, you know, but a joke can only be funny so many times you say it. It gets old really quickly, trust. And the biggest issue is that Flood Pass doesn't exactly do much justice to tanks, as you can see. Emotes and skins are the best part, because they are the only things that nobody actually hates. Sure, they may not like a skin, so they won't use it, or if they won't like an emote, they'll use something else. Yeah. Always use one, either a skin or an emote of their choice. Tanks are optional. Auras practically unused at all. There's like almost no people who haven't even use auras, or for a better case of an example, they put one random aura on, turn on auras off option, and they forget they have one on in the first place. And everyone already disabled auras by default because it just obstructs gameplay. So why the fuck do you keep adding auras that literally obscure your damn view? Why? Just why? You're making items nobody's gonna wear, and then you're putting a hefty price on them for being obtained. This is why your game can't be fear of missing out free, bro. That's the main problem. Like, take a look at all of this stuff. There's so many good things here. So many cool auras. But there's one problem. Wrong button. they obscure too much view. First person is unplayable. No, I mean this is on medium graphics. This is on lowest graphics. Lowest graphics just do most yours completely dirty. Like, let's take this one for example. This is what it looks like on lowest graphics. Barely visible, right? If I go my optimal, it's already obscuring my view a little bit. And when we go max graphics and, well, you see what I see, I guess. It's about the same as medium graphics, you know. But yeah, for a moment there you couldn't even see my face on the avatar anymore. That's precisely why nobody uses auras. Hell, the option to remove auras is more popular than the entire auras as a section in the shop. And yet we still have 300 plus auras in the game. Look at all of this. None of it is being used by players. Tanks. Like, there are some cool ones here and there, but like, who is using this? Or this? Or hell, this? I have never seen players use any of this stuff. Or much less own it. Like this, for example. Why? Who the fuck wants to use this on their avatar? Why? Literally pointless. And mind you, this stuff doesn't cost like 100 coins at most. It costs hundreds or thousands of coins. You know, you see, some of this shit costs like 800 coins per item. And then you have mediocre items that cost gems. Like, God. Gem items, bro. You see, all of these Banes, right? Some of them cost 600 coins. However, the rest cost 600 gems each. Which currency is harder to get? Gems. What's the difference between the two items? Color. That is all the difference. Just color. Why is half of it gems and half of it is coins? I don't know. You tell me. I think that's bullshit. They are directly improportionate. Like, I don't understand Crazy Box's thinking. Like, why does he make a single item worth like the skin, for example? It costs 3,500 no, 3,000 coins, I think. Meanwhile, Poisonous Chasm, for example, costs 3,000 gems. And why is this the case? I'd like to know myself, bro. This skin is not worth 8,000 gems by any means. Also, just so you know, I don't actually remember the exact pricings. So don't go looking up shit just to prove me wrong. I know I'm probably not correct. It's just an example I'm trying to give. I guess Flood Pass kinda solves this problem with these shop items. Because you actually get them for just playing the game and grinding XP. But half of this shit is paywalled, so like more than half. Like 4/5 of the items are literally paywalled. So like you basically get nothing anyway. Oh. You know, I might make another video about this topic of helping the game with suggestions I came up with, etc, etc. I'll make a big video about it at some point. I'll probably write a script for it too, so it's not as random as this one was. And yeah, I think we're done for today. Also, don't question why I'm using a female avatar, please. I just like it. That's it. There is no other ulterior motive. And this name itself doesn't really make any sense. I just picked it up from a random place. Anyway, that's gonna be it. I'll complain more in a future video. See you.